Do, 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 do. And we're live. Oh, look at that. Hey, folks. Show hasn't actually started. As you may know, if you've watched this thing before, I go live a few minutes before the top of the hour for production reasons. The main reason is because I get this video URL, which I take and I post it at the top of the show's post on Facebook, so that anybody that wants to get involved in the comments, and please do, this is a conversation with anybody that wants to get involved. You can see on the post that there's that URL. If you click through that, you basically get a much better view of the conversation. And so it just helps us all to enrich the show. And yeah, there you go. If you're watching this as an archive, you're probably wondering why there's this kind of preamble. It is, as I say, is for production reasons. I connect my guests and all that sort of stuff via the phone. And I advise you, because my sort of test card thing is incredibly dull, to fast forward about 8 minutes, 7 minutes, and that'll be the actual top of the show. So there you go, folks. I hope you enjoy it. I hope we have a constructive conversation, and I hope we don't get sued. One, two, da di da da. Oh, oh, seems to be working. Hello. Oh, look at that. Oh, okay. Oh, yeah. We'll be right with you. Hold on. Daily Brexit live at 5 Tuesdays and Thursdays. Daily Brexit coming up shortly. Live on Tuesdays and Thursdays at 5 p.m. Live at 5 Tuesdays and Thursdays. Daily Brexit, yes, coming up soon. Daily Brexit. It's coming up soon. Daily Brexit. One, two, da di da da. Oh, oh, seems to be working. Hello. Da di da da. Okay. Oh, yeah. We'll be right with you. Hold on. Daily Brexit live at 5 Tuesdays and Thursdays. Okay. Daily Brexit coming up shortly. Live on Tuesdays and Thursdays at 5 p.m. Live at 5 Tuesdays and Thursdays. Daily Brexit, yes, coming up soon. Daily Brexit. One, two, da di da da. Oh, oh, seems to be working. Hello. Oh, look at that. Oh, okay. Da di da. Oh, yeah. We'll be right with you. Hold on. Daily Brexit live at 5 Tuesdays and Thursdays. Daily Brexit coming up shortly. Live on Tuesdays and Thursdays at 5 p.m. Live at 5 Tuesdays and Thursdays. Daily Brexit, yes, coming up soon. Daily Brexit. One, two, da di da da. Oh, oh, seems to be working. Hello. Oh, look at that. Oh, okay. Oh, yeah. We'll be right with you. Hold on. Daily Brexit live at 5 Tuesdays and Thursdays. Daily Brexit coming up shortly. Live on Tuesdays and Thursdays at 5 p.m. Live at 5 Tuesdays and Thursdays. Daily Brexit, yes, coming up soon. Daily Brexit. One, two, da di da da. Oh, seems to be working. Hello.
Yeah.
Hello. Oh, look at that. Oh, okay. Oh, yeah, we'll be right with you. Hold on. Daily Brexit, live at 5, Tuesdays and Thursdays.
Daily Brexit, coming up shortly.
Live on Tuesdays and Thursdays at 5 p.m.
Live at 5, Tuesdays and Thursdays. Daily Brexit, yes, coming up soon.
Daily Brexit. One, two, da di da da. Oh, seems to be working. Hello. Oh, look at that. Oh, okay. Oh, yeah, we'll be right with you. Hold on. Daily Brexit, live at 5, Tuesdays and Thursdays.
Daily Brexit, coming up shortly.
Live on Tuesdays and Thursdays at 5 p.m.
Live at 5, Tuesdays and Thursdays. Daily Brexit, yes, coming up soon.
Daily Brexit. One, two, da di da da. Oh, seems to be working. Hello. Oh, look at that. Oh, okay. Oh, yeah, we'll be right with you. Hold on. Daily Brexit, live at 5, Tuesdays and Thursdays.
Daily Brexit, coming up shortly.
Live on Tuesdays and Thursdays at 5 p.m.
Live at 5, Tuesdays and Thursdays. Daily Brexit, yes, coming up soon.
Daily Brexit. One, two, da di da da. Oh, seems to be working. Hello. Oh, look at that. Oh, okay. Oh, yeah, we'll be right with you. Hold on. Daily Brexit, live at 5, Tuesdays and Thursdays.
Daily Brexit, coming up shortly.
Live on Tuesdays and Thursdays at 5 p.m.
Live at 5, Tuesdays and Thursdays. Daily Brexit, yes, coming up soon.
Daily Brexit. One, two, da di da da. Oh, seems to be working. Hello. Oh, look at that. Oh, okay. Oh, yeah, we'll be right with you. Hold on. Daily Brexit, live at 5, Tuesdays and Thursdays.
Daily Brexit, coming up shortly.
Live on Tuesdays and Thursdays at 5 p.m.
Live at 5, Tuesdays and Thursdays. Daily Brexit, yes, coming up soon.
Daily Brexit. One, two, da di da da. Oh, seems to be working. Hello. Oh, look at that. Oh, okay. Oh, yeah, we'll be right with you. Hold on. Daily Brexit, live at 5, Tuesdays and Thursdays.
Daily Brexit, coming up shortly.
Live on Tuesdays and Thursdays at 5 p.m.
Live at 5, Tuesdays and Thursdays. Daily Brexit, yes, coming up soon.
Daily Brexit.
Hey folks, and welcome to the Daily Brexit. Yes, holding democracy to account, fighting for self-determination, and exposing plutocracy. I'm Olly Connelly. Thanks for turning up.
And today's show, can't. Is London Mayor Sadiq Khan a traitor? He's called for a London city-state, tells us to tolerate terror, allows extremists to march in our great capital, and doesn't condemn Islamist hate. Therein, there could be a clue. We've got Londoner Elizabeth Higris and Kipper Mark Childs attempting to avoid libel. With me, right here, right now. And you can join in too. Please do get involved in the comments, all in real time. We want to have a conversation. You can even call in. Hey, get Olly Connelly on Skype. Call in, have a chat. You know, I know it's a bit mad, this theme tune, yeah, but it kind of reminded me of Brussels, you know, the Parliament. Right, okay, that's enough of that. I got a few show notes. Before we start. First of all, as you know, I'm kind of the MC in charge of trying not to get sued here, yeah. But I have to say, the team is expanding, the Daily Brexit team, yeah. We have just, we got Piers Garnham, who's kind of like my sidekick, who's on every now and then. Of course, we all have work commitments. It's quite difficult. He's not always on the show. He's on when he can be, but I'll tell you what, he's damn good value. He's got a lot to say. And he is our NWO, our New World Order correspondent, our stringer for that. He's also the guy that kind of keeps me in check because he's the diplomat, because let's face it, I'm not. And we've also, now, I am so pleased to say, we've got another guy on the team. We've got Rhys Keems, yeah, from kippercentral.com. Rhys I'm so chuffed that he is delighted too to be our stringer for UKIP, specifically reporting on what's going on with the UKIP leadership election. And I know that sounds a little bit sectarian, yeah, to have a UKIP correspondent, but there is a leadership bid going on in that party at the moment. It's really important for all of us, for democracy, that the party that gave us the referendum, because it wasn't the Tories, I'll tell you. Cameron, I mean, he had his hand behind his back, yeah. He didn't have any choice. And then, of course, he tried to, anyway, we won't get into that right now. But, yeah, so there's a leadership bid going on in UKIP. UKIP's a very important part of us securing Brexit. And so I want to cover that leadership, and I want to know what's going on with those leaders, and to make sure that that party is basically going to be able to pull its grassroots behind it. And I feel the same way about all political parties, yeah. If there was a leadership bid going on in the Tory party, I'd do the same. Labour Party, I'd do even the Lib Dems, I would do the same. I would pull somebody in to give us, and so Rhys has gladly agreed to come on once a week, once every 10 days, more or less, something like that, for a 10-minute spot to keep us up to date, give us a bit of an update, tell us the latest, and so on and so forth. And so I'm really chuffed. Big shout out to Rhys Keems, a very impressive guy. I'll tell you, awesome. And yeah, this list will grow. The team will grow, and fantastic. While we're talking about UKIP, the leadership candidates, I've reached out to all of them. I've messaged a lot and asked them if they would come on the show. And this is a reach out again to you folks, all of you. I know that Bill Etheridge has been in touch with me, says he wants to be on the show. And I guess we're going to sort that out. I'm really chuffed about that. Ben Walker, he got in touch with me earlier. He wanted me to like his page. Well, I'm not going to do that with any of the candidates because, again, that would be sectarian. And, I don't think it's right to be biased in this kind of situation. All of you candidates, I'm very happy. I'm absolutely chuffed. If you want to come on for 20 minutes each, and I'm going to give you all a balanced line of questioning and find out what you stand for. There you go. I've got a couple of shout outs. I want to say a big thank you to Angela Chandler. Lovely lady. Lovely lady. Awesome lady. My word. I invited her on the show and said, please, let's come on and let's have a chat about X, Y, Z. She didn't want to do that. She reckons she didn't know enough, which I don't believe for a minute. But anyway, we've all got something to add to this conversation. Everybody, on all sides of the debate, everybody's got something to offer. It's just a question of finding out those nuggets. But everyone's got something to offer. And only between us, and by building bridges, by reaching out to each other, can we find some kind of consensus. And we so need that. So Angela, okay. You didn't want to come on the show, that's fine. But she set up this group just for this show. Daily Brexit and the Betrayal, it's called. So if you want to get involved in that group yourselves on Facebook, please do. Awesome. Angela, what a lovely thing to do. She didn't really know me from Adam. I don't know, maybe she'd seen a show or two, I don't know. But she didn't really know me from Adam, and she was willing to trust me. And a lot of people have been like that about me and this show so far. It's incredible. I'll tell you, it's just been going mad over the last few weeks. Absolutely crazy. My Facebook inbox, at midnight last night, I had 70 messages to get through. Just crazy. I woke up this morning, well, this afternoon actually, and I had another 50. It's just going absolutely berserk. I want to say it is humbling. It is humbling to the kind of response that there is for this show. Folks want to be heard, and I want to give them a platform to be heard. And hey, that's what we should be doing, eh? Right, okay. Let's have a look at the news. Let's see what we've got going on with the news. What I've done today, I've changed the format slightly because it was a bit berserk. But what we've got, I've chosen a few choice stories that I think are particularly important, and rather than it being a bit too ad hoc. And so I'm going to go through some of these with you, a bit more succinct, hopefully. The Independent, the not so independent, survivors of 9/11 attack urged Theresa May to release Saudi Arabia terror report she suppressed. This is wonderful. And wow. I mean, she has to. We have to. Let me read this, yeah. Exclusive. Relatives and survivors say British Premier has chanced to pour sunlight onto funding of extremism. And we know that a lot of this is coming from Saudi Arabia. They're busy pointing their finger at Qatar. I mean, what are they if they're not backing terrorism, Saudi Arabia, and misogyny and Wahhabism, all this mad stuff. I'll tell you, the Saudi Arabia, what a fun mafia state. Anyway, survivors of the 9/11 attacks have written to Prime Minister Theresa May, urging her to make public a British government report into the extent of Saudi Arabia's funding of Islamist extremism in the UK. I tell you, this is fantastic. That is awesome. Keep going, guys. Look, if anybody from any of those folks want to come on this show, my word, you've got a platform. Absolutely. And while we're about it, Building 7, yeah? Building 7, the smoking gun on 9/11. There were a load of smoking guns, yeah? I'm going to be writing a bit about that, yeah. But anyway, all right. Express. Corbyn's voting cheats should pay. Theresa May demands justice for student double voting. Now, I covered this story in the news section last week, you might remember, and I said, I'm wondering where this is going to go, this story. If this story ran its course, I wonder if there isn't a possibility, just a remote possibility, that might be the thing that triggers another general election. And if you might recall, the reason I say that is because so many of the seats, of the parliamentary seats, were decided by a tiny fraction of votes, a tiny margin. And so Labour, I don't know, I haven't actually done the precise research, but off the top of my head, I reckon it's a couple of dozen. couple of dozen seats that could be in question here. And I'll give you an example. Like Canterbury, we know that that was Tory for years, 90 years or so. And suddenly it went Labour. It's because all the students were voting there. But now apparently it turns out that they were also voting in their hometown, you know, mum and dad's place. Yeah. So this is very, very interesting. The Electoral Commission is involved, and now the Prime Minister's involved as well. The Prime Minister's demanded that voting cheats are reported to the police and prosecuted. Sorry, do I sound angry? I mean, this is a bloody important thing. Amid growing evidence that student fraud could have significantly boosted Labour's support in the election and stopped the Tories winning a majority. This is a massive story. There's a long way to go with that story, I reckon. And by the way, I happen to know that there are some very interesting allegations that could just come out very soon. And you watch this space. Okay, right. This is an interesting story from the Bristol Post. UKIP donor Aaron Banks is likened to National Front after calling for Muslim immigration ban and levelling of mosques. Very, very fake. Yeah. Now, he hasn't said that. He hasn't said that. What he has said is that he wants to level Saudi-funded mosques. Big difference. Big difference. I'm just making that point, yeah. I'm just making that point. The Bristol businessman who bankrolled Brexit was likened to the National Front by his own supporters. Yeah, okay. There's probably a bit of infighting going on and what have you. Sparked shock and outrage. Check it out. But basically, the bottom line is that he, like a lot of us, is worried about Wahhabism, Salafism, Saudi influence in British affairs, basically, yeah. And I know a lot of British Muslims feel the same way, huh? So, yeah, Bristol Press, bloody fake. Anyway, right. Sputnik News, anti-fraud unit mounting 6 investigations into EU officials over Panama Papers. Yeah, Panama Papers. I wondered where that story had gone. Very quiet, yeah, but there is something going on with it still, thank goodness. It's been simmering under there. The EU's internal anti-fraud office, that's an oxymoron. OLAF is conducting 6 investigations into individuals for suspected tax evasion after their names emerged in the Panama Papers. But EU officials are playing it down and say they are surprised how few names came up during their trawl. Okay, you know what? We're going to keep an eye on that story. But you can check that out on Sputnik News. And another one, very interesting story from Diversity McFry, .blogspot.com.es, blimey. Italy. Thousands of African invaders are infected with HIV. I don't know the truth of this, yeah, but I do think it's a very interesting angle on this whole migration debate. And if it's government's first duty to protect its citizens, which I was kind of brought up to think that it was, then maybe we should be considering this. While the ports of southern Italy are filling up with thousands of immigrants who have recently disembarked, the Fratelli d'Italia deputy, Edmondo Cirielli, is sounding a new disturbing alarm that, at least until today, has not been taken into consideration. The people disembarking on Italian coasts are, first of all, coming from Nigeria, the second country after South Africa with the greatest number of people affected by AIDS. And now he wants to know what the government is doing to prevent, or at least to monitor, this risk. Now, this is an interesting spin. I think we better keep an eye on that as well. And finally, bit of entertainment, yeah? Bit of entertainment from the Boys Buggering Club in the Daily Gonad, the Groniad, the Guardian, whatever it is. BBC facing backlash from female stars after gender pay gap revealed. That's not the story. That is a story. Oh, yeah, that's a big story. Yeah, gender equality, of course. And also racial equality too, because I think only 0 people from ethnic minority backgrounds are in the first top 20. None. Yeah. So for example, anyway, I'm getting on. I'm going to do a show specifically about this BBC business going on. But I'll tell you what the story is the fact that we're paying these folks, not the BBC, us. We're being taxed on threat of prison if we don't pay up. We're paying for propaganda. We're paying for the Gary Linekers of this world on 1.8 million quid a year to preach to us why we should stay in the EU. I mean, it's just ridiculous. It's absolutely incredible that we've got these people, these so-called role models, these people that we worship, and in our national treasure, the BBC, the Brussels Broadcasting bloody corporation, more like it. It just beggars belief that these people are being paid to basically give us propaganda, and that is the story. These inflated salaries. Now, I mean, for example, Chris Evans on what, 2.2 million, whatever. I don't know. Now, I've got nothing against Chris Evans. He did a lousy job with Top Gear, but I've got nothing against him. I actually like Chris Evans. I think he's got a nice smile and all the rest of it. But I do wonder how much of his show on, what is it, Radio 2 or something, is devoted to going through the papers and just having a look and just the occasional laugh when they're talking about Brexiteers, for example, as opposed to maybe giving them a bit of a free ride when it's more the Remain candidates, for example. I'm not sure. I don't listen to it, yeah. But I'm just saying that is the general way the BBC runs. You even see in drama, BBC dramas, sometimes you see anti-Brexit messages. I have heard anti-Remain messages too, mind you. I heard one on The Archers the other day. The Archers, I tell you, it's very sad, isn't it? But so it does, you know, there's a little bit on the other side there. But we know the vast majority of BBC programming is biased towards the EU, which also gives them some money, by the way. And that just doesn't make any sense. Are they British or are they Brussels? Yeah? Okay. I'm going to do a show particularly about this. I'm going to analyze it in some detail. I'm going to look at things that Lord Hall said yesterday. And my word, what a lot of disingenuous old rubbish. Absolute rubbish that he said. I'm going to rip it apart. Yeah, I'm going to do a show specifically looking at this, addressing this tomorrow. That'll be a special here on Daily Brexit. But the bottom line, their angle, the Groniad, broadcaster threatened with legal action as list of 96 highest earners shows only a third are women, and top 7 are all men. And yeah, no, that is an important story, but it fades in relevance compared to the fact that we are threatened with prison unless we pay for propaganda. Incredible. Do I have my guests here, Elizabeth and Mark? That's a good start, isn't it?
Hello.
Yeah, sorry, I'm here.
Oh, God bless you both. God bless. Thanks for coming on. Okay, we've got Elizabeth Higris, who I will address as Lisa as well, because she's known as Lisa. And we got Mark Childs. Now, Elizabeth is a Londoner, and Mark is he knows a lot of stuff that's going about. He does some impressive stuff, some good activism they both do, on Facebook and elsewhere. And so I wanted to pull these guys in. I'm very chuffed that they've come on to discuss with us what's going on in London with this Mayor Sadiq Khan. He's got a lovely face, by the way. He's got a lovely face, but what he says is just incredible. First of all, guys, before we get into Khan, and he's probably watching, tell us, what do you think, both of you? Elizabeth, maybe you'd kick us off. What do you think about this BBC pay scandal?
Oh, well, I'm not shocked at all about it. I always knew they were getting heavily paid, but I wish there would be a bit more on the UK people's lives and the UK people's what they need. on the election night, on watching BBC, I decided to turn it off because I could see straight away that all the fame was given to Labour. I have nothing against Labour, who votes who votes what, but it was just ridiculous that I turned it off and I decided to wait for the result in the morning.
I have to say, Emily Maitlis looked so disappointed on election night when they were talking about Laura Koonsberg, rather. I mean, oh, blimey, I tell you what, she's another one. I mean, she basically lies to us. Hey, Laura, sue me, yeah? Yeah, I mean, maybe it's not willful. Maybe it's not willful. But the fact is that the stuff you tell us is just, I mean, talk about a shadow of the truth. It's just incredible. Absolutely incredible. I have no respect for these people. They have no integrity in terms of the truth and what journalism really is. It's just unbelievable. Sorry, I'm ranting. I'm on a rant here. Mark, what do you think about all this?
It is absolutely appalling that anyone could be paid that high for what they do, especially how they don't even seem to represent the majority of the British people. You know, the likes of Gary Lineker and so many others that spoke out against Brexit and have been extremely offensive to people that supported Brexit, especially our elderly, which is absolutely disgusting.
I totally agree with you, mate. I totally agree with you.
And then on top of that,
but he's a nice bloke, though. Gary Lineker's a lovely bloke. He's got a good smile. He's got his packet of crisps. I mean, you know, it's just bollocks, isn't it? Frankly, it's just nonsense. It's PR.
Yeah, but you know, on top of that, you got to look at the history of the BBC. So, known to harbour paedophiles, not take any action against them. And, you know, the organisation just does not represent the British people in any way, shape or form. And it is very sad considering what they once were. If you go back to the times of World War II, it would have been a completely different result if we didn't have the BBC.
Well, it has to be said that Winnie Churchill himself said that the BBC was a wonderful propaganda vehicle. But you could argue, I don't know. There's a lot of different ways of looking at this. But you could argue that at that time, no, you couldn't. I was going to say that maybe there was a point to having a bit of propaganda there, but no, there wasn't. I mean, how can you trump the truth? You can't, can you? But it has always been a propaganda outlet for the establishment. Some people say the BBC is, it's so left wing, or other people say, it's really anti-Corbyn. I'll tell you what it is. It's pro-establishment. It doesn't care about left or right. The left or right is a duopolistic construct. It's duopolistic. It's like Pepsi and Coke. It's like the Pepsi challenge. And when you end up drinking it, you realize that the best thing it's for is throwing down the toilet and cleaning out your shit. And it's basically, it's kind of like that. It's just, sorry, I'm going off on one. Elizabeth, recover the situation, please.
Well, on the evening of the election, I was looking forward to watching the results. And I see all this going on about Labour. I thought, what's going on here? It was like they had won before it had even been called. So I thought, I'm not watching this no more. And a lot of people online were chatting how biased it was against Brexit, how biased it was against the election. I decided to call it a night and go to bed. Now, we're not paying for news when we're having to turn it off, paying for TV licenses to turn it off. But there's many a times when I see things on BBC, I switch off. I refuse to listen to it. It's just appalling against old people.
Yeah.
We're racists, we're offending. I've never offended no one in my life, and I'm certainly not a racist. I have mixed race children. I seem to get on better with migrants than I get on with any other race. This is all rubbish. A racist is a person who genuinely hates each other. This is not the case.
We're going to be getting into that. It's you make a wonderful point.
It's love. It's going on in the UK, and the way people came together with the Manchester and the Tower of the Fire is the way people have to come together now and stand up for what they believe in.
Blitz spirit.
Because it's not going to work unless we come together and unite. All this and hate's got to stop.
Elizabeth, we're going to get into that. I just want to make the point. Yeah, you bring up a fantastic point about the BBC's ageism. They tell us that
Yes.
we shouldn't be this and we shouldn't be that. We've got to be politically this and that. Yeah. The bottom line is that the BBC, just a sec, Elizabeth, just a sec, Lisa, darling. The BBC, during that election campaign, where was the debate for elderly people? They had a debate for young people. They didn't have a debate for elderly people. Every 5 minutes we were hearing, the old people are stealing it all. Oh, they're stealing our destiny. These young kids, I'm sorry, guys, you haven't got much experience. I'm not saying that you shouldn't be heard. I'm not saying that. But what I am saying is that we're all being played like an orchestra. And you guys are playing the strings. You young kids. Mark, what do you think?
I would totally agree with you. They are just completely biased. As you say, they are on the payroll of the corrupt elite, the European Union, as you say, Brussels, and the Rothschilds. But yeah, they've not represented the British people for many years now, and I don't actually think the organisation should be shut down, because I think it would be a complete shame to what it was. What it needs is full investigation and be restored to the brilliance that it once was and could be again.
What, an investigation like they did over the pedos?
Well, yeah, but one which actually will be decisive and take action against the findings.
I do agree with you. I do agree with you about that. I mean, there's my gripe isn't really with the BBC per se. I love a lot of stuff that the BBC does, and I enjoy a lot of stuff that BBC News does, but BBC News isn't really BBC News. It's BBC Views. Views. There's nothing wrong with Views, but when Views is masquerading as news, that's propaganda. That's a lie. And with Sky or ITV or whatever, these private companies, frankly, they can say what they like, in my opinion. I mean, there should be a public service to present news in a balanced way, but the God's honest truth is that we are all biased. We all have our frames of reference and what have you. The difference with the BBC is that it's supposed to be public service. We pay for it to be given propaganda. I also wonder. What do you think about this, Elizabeth? It seems to me that we blimey, I don't know. I've lost it. No. I mean, it's just crazy. The BBC cannot be trusted to give us a balanced news diet. I think that BBC News should be sold off or just scrapped. But the rest of the BBC, what do you think, Mark? Maybe just keep the rest of the BBC, but get rid of BBC News.
No, the problems are throughout the whole organisation. So if it's going to be shut down, it needs to be shut down completely. I would still prefer it to be saved if it could, but that is going to take a lot of investigation, a lot of changes, and maybe put into government hands possibly. Okay, look,
I'm going to cover this. I'm going to do a special show on this tomorrow. So that'll be good fun. And I'll try. Actually, I do kind of wonder if it would be good to get sued. Maybe I'll try to get sued, because I reckon I could get some good crowdfunding, and we could use the court to basically show up the BBC for what it is. So hey, bring it on, BBC. We'll see. I might try and get sued tomorrow. Anyway, we got Steve Russell. Totally agree. Christopher Michael Baxter. Bless you, sir. The BBC were too busy bringing the Conservatives down all the time with the dementia tax. Instead of debating the fact that the welfare bill is unsustainable. Where's that debate? Steve Russell, the BBC are so far left. Steve Russell, I was talking to someone in the know, and a big issue is the amount of AIDS coming into the UK. So that's going back to that Nigeria-Italy story that I was talking about earlier. Gav Fenn says, level all mosques. Well, okay, well, that's what Gav Fenn says. Steve Russell, it has to be affected results nationwide. I've lost my track. I'm not sure what that's referring to. Beverly Taylor King. Hi, Ollie. You do a fantastic job. God bless you, Beverly. I tell you. Yeah. If it wasn't for Beverly Taylor King, and if it wasn't for Christopher Baxter, I wouldn't be doing this. Those two folks, I've never met them. We've had a few chats and all the rest of it. I tell you, if they were here, I'd give them a big hug. Thank you both so much. Steve Russell, great news about the team. Yeah, thank you. Reese and Piers, my wingmen. I'll tell you what, top geezers. Steve Russell, afternoon, sir. Chris Ford, hi everyone. And Gav Venn, afternoon. Right, okay. Let's talk Khan. Now, Elizabeth, you're a Londoner. Tell us, what is your overview of this mayoralty?
Oh, sorry, didn't hear you.
For crying out loud, wake up, girl. What is your overall on Sadiq Khan and his progress as mayor?
Well, I don't know much about him really, but if you look online, there's countless petitions to remove him. He won't condemn Islam in any way. I think this is a bit unreasonable. I mean, you're representing the UK, you should condemn Islam the same way UK condemns people who do attacks on Islamic people. So why won't he condemn Islam?
Well,
and there's been attacks,
Mark, what do you think? What do you think about that?
Well, I mean, it's quite clear that he has known terrorist links. The information is there for all to see, and you only have to look at his time since he's been mayor, since 2016. The fact that we've had numerous incidents in the UK and in London, of which before that there might have been the odd one every few years, but certainly not 3 or 4 within a year.
I want you to assume that I am completely clueless, which is largely the case. And so, for example, what are these terror links, allegedly?
Well, obviously, ISIS, Hamas, which, to be honest with you, I think that seems to be part of the criteria of being on the Labour front bench, that you have to be a member or a supporter of that. There's just too many. Muslim Brotherhood, who is chief advisor to Al Nazariya, Al Qaeda. It's just the list.
What has he done? He stood on the same platform with some of these folks, hasn't he? But that doesn't. It's a bit like Corbyn with the IRA, but that doesn't necessarily mean that he's a sympathiser. Maybe he's trying to find out what they have to say. No,
I mean, when he's speaking in defence of Sheikh, you see Al Qaeda. I can't even pronounce his name, but
who is that guy? Who is that guy? Sheikh
Al Qaeda. Al Qaeda.
What does he do?
He planned suicide attacks and said that homosexuality is a crime under Islam.
What is he? Is he where is he?
He's based over in the Saudis, I believe, or was.
Right. And what did Sadiq Khan say about him then that was controversial?
He spoke in defence of him, saying that he was a nice guy and that the people was wrong. He wasn't this bad person that he was being portrayed as, which is quite astonishing with the things that he said. If he hadn't have said them things, then perhaps it might have been a different story. But
the thing that concerns me in terms of his, you could argue, complicity with terrorism, is that after Barra, he didn't come out and say, you know what, this is a real problem. Why are these people not? Whoa! Somebody's phone. Oh, blimey! That is very. Ooh. Why does he not come out and just state the bloody obvious, which is that this is out of order? And this is, by the way, this is England, yeah? We're not going to put up with this crap. We're not going to put up with this. Why doesn't he get a bit of a backbone? Bit of blitz spirit?
Well, that's not what he...
go on,
that's
Mark,
not,
go on.
Oh, sorry. That's not what he believes in, is it? It's part of everyday life, living in a big city to encounter terrorism.
That's what he said. That's what he said. I just find that abhorrent to everything that I believe in. Elizabeth, what do you think about that?
Well, you've got this claim that there's 23,000 jihadis living in the UK. They're well known. All this money wasted on hunting them down and keeping an eye on them. Surely if there's such a risk of such people that threatens us with terror attacks, why should we have to live with that? We never had to live with that before. Something has to be done. If these people are such a high risk to the UK, then they should be locked up or something done about it. Because they're saying 23,000 that they know of. What about all them ones that's in the UK they don't know?
We're kind of in danger of getting into a situation
to attack and cause mass casualties. 23,000 is a high number.
I think that the figures have varied, haven't they? The figures have varied. I mean, we heard from the ex-head of the security services, or some big knob anyway, said that there were 3,000 jihadists expected. And then the next day, the figure was up to 23,000.
Yeah.
I've heard bigger figures than that too, actually.
Well, that's alarming. I've heard bigger figures than that.
Mark?
The figures I heard was 23,000 known jihadists with 3,000 on the watch list. But,
is it jihadists or is that the support group, i.e. people that may not be as extreme, but they're members of the same family? And, you know, it's kind of, how do you draw the line? We have to be careful, don't we? Because we don't want to get into a situation of internment. That's what Thatcher wanted to do with the IRA. Do you remember that? And it wasn't going to get us anywhere. Major came in. I haven't got any time for John Major, yeah. But one thing that he did do that was awesome was he put together he led us up to the Good Friday peace agreement that has given us peace in Northern Ireland and on mainland Britain. It ended the mainland bombing campaign and what have you, which, of course, Mo Molem, God bless her, when she took her wig off, when she was negotiating to just humanize the whole thing. And then Tony Blair, I can feel the hand of history on my shoulder. Yeah, so, but we do have to be careful, do we not, that we do not get into a situation where we're interning innocent people. And this is the worry, isn't it? It's like, is it? Oh, blimey, Elizabeth, come on, you're worldly wise, my dear. What do you think?
Well, if they've got proof and evidence that these people pose a threat, then something has to be done. Because it's not fair on all the nice Muslim people that do integrate into the UK, work very hard, pay their taxes. They also fear this as much as we do.
Yeah.
We cannot live in a world of terror. We have children. Yeah. You know, the future's not looking good. And recently there's been attack after attack. What are we waiting for? The next one? And
so you guys, both of you,
I think it's ridiculous.
So both of you, by the sounds of it, would tend to agree, for example, with that line that Aaron Banks was taking, which is we need to concentrate on the Wahhabist side of this problem. Yeah, that's the root of it. And yes, level those mosques, get rid of those imams if they're preaching hate. Yeah, that actually is sure. I mean, hey, isn't that sensible? Isn't it? Not moderate mosques, yeah? I mean, if you go into somebody else's culture, a host culture, then you kind of surely adapt and play on their bat, yeah? I mean, I don't know. Mark, where have we gone wrong here? What is the problem, and what does Sadiq Khan need to do to basically earn our trust?
Resign, possibly. That's the only way that he would earn my trust. actively speak out against these people, although it would be easy of someone like him who in his profession to manipulate people. He's a lawyer after all. This is what lawyers have to do for a living. So he could easily persuade people to believe that his words are true. The fact of the matter is that he has.
There are some good lawyers, yeah. Let's just point out there's a lot of good lawyers too. Yeah, I know some good lawyers. I just want to say that. Yeah, it's easy to give you a hard time, lawyers. Sorry, carry on, Mark. Yeah. But
known terrorist links. I mean, a good friend of his, Baba Ahmed. He fed information to the Taliban and Chechen jihadists through websites, and he tried to stop him from being deported. His ex-brother-in-law. Again, he's got links to terror groups, and so many people are related to that group that his brother-in-law is part of or was part of. The list is absolutely endless as to his links to people within terrorist organisations, people that he's defended, spoke out against.
Are you sure about his brother? We got to be careful here, yeah. We don't want to be slandering people. We don't want to be libeling folks.
No, his ex-brother-in-law Mahbub Jafid is part of, or was part of, Al Mastroon terrorist group, which was founded by hate preacher Omar Bakri Mohammed, who's been banned since 2005.
Okay,
let's go recruiting British jihadists.
Let's go to some comments just to pull in our folks. Richard Markham, yes, he's a traitor. Steve Russell, I think he's talking about Muslim folks generally. I don't know about all Muslims, I'm not sure. They want us to adjust to their way of life. Christopher Michael Baxter, good statement, Mark. The sooner the better. Christopher Michael Baxter again, there is a deeply sinister and censorious move by Mr. Numpty Khan. But what's most worrying is that for something to be labelled a hate crime, it only has to be labelled as such by the alleged victim. You might have been offensive or rude to someone in the course of an argument, but if they decide that you are motivated by the fact they are female, trans, gay, Muslim, Cornish, or some mix of all of the above, it's possible that you will be investigated for a hate crime and potentially get a criminal record if you get out of the wrong side of bed in the morning and say something wrong. You know what, Elizabeth, this again comes down to the fact that people are so cowed by political correctness, no?
Well, they're controlled. They're scared to speak. They're scared to say anything. I mean, if you say something wrong, you're offending someone. Islamic phobia, it's only a word that I've never heard of. You're called a racist, and you're certainly not. I think people have to stop being afraid and speak up. I mean, Mr. Khan, there's countless petitions for him to be removed. He's got to go. He's got to step down. The people on Facebook want him out.
There are countless petitions for Remain as well.
Well, I never seen them, so hopefully there must be a lot of people like him. Fair play.
But, actually, the petitions website, just as an aside, Elizabeth, the petitions website, I went there yesterday to research another story, and it's down. Petitions.parliament.uk or whatever it is, it's down. They've said, no, it's not been hacked. They've said, we're not taking any more petitions for now because what with the general election and all the rest of it, we're too busy. They don't want petitions because of all the petitions that we're putting out there saying we want Jacob Rees-Mogg for PM, or we want a Brexiteer as PM, and we want democracy to be held to account. They've stopped the petitions. Sorry, Elizabeth, carry on. Well,
that's a good thing because the polls don't count anyway because everyone said Trump would win and Trump won. So the polls, in my opinion, are all fake anyway. But, I mean, I do think that Mr. Khan should step down. If he's not going to stand with the UK public, condemn acts of terrorism, then he's not with the UK.
What are the problems? What are the problems in London as you see them?
Well, the crimes are. There's lots of stabbings in London, poor mothers losing their children. Every mother's nightmare. Her child goes out, she's wondering if he's all right. She hears an ambulance, she hears something, she thinks something's wrong. It's terrorising. There's stabbings nearly every day in London. Crime is up.
It is a big city, though. What are there, 11 million people in Greater London? I mean, it's a huge place. It's just not... I'm not talking about terrorism here, but in terms of, mugging and, if you like, mid to high range crime as opposed to extreme crime.
Well, it's never been as high as it is now.
Do you think it's going through the roof? I mean, I'm hearing about these acid attacks, but we've actually had them for a few years. It's just that they're just beginning to be reported. No, it's usually
something that happens in India when women refuse to get married. This is something the UK is not used to. Is acid attacks. This is a new trend. And a deadly one as well.
Who tend to be perpetrating these attacks? Is it something that could be connected with an ethnic group? I don't know.
Well, I don't know myself, but there was a story the other day saying that it was Asian lads. But then that could have been fake news, because a lot of the news that we're reading is fake news. So we've got to take that into consideration. But I mean, acid attacks in the UK have climbed.
Asia's a very big place. A very big place. Chris. Mark.
I was wondering. I was just about to jump in. Just a couple of other points. It's just worth mentioning the fact that he's gave legal consultancy to 9/11 plotter Higris Muhasis, or however you pronounce it again. And again, his mayoral campaign has been proven to have been funded by numerous people with known terrorist links.
Really?
That fund active terrorist groups.
Really? If you wouldn't mind, I would love it if you could furnish me with a few links about that. I'd really appreciate that, because that is one hell of an allegation. Well,
it is, but it's it is also there for all the world to see. The internet is a powerful tool. And,
it's full of rubbish too. It's full of rubbish too.
It is full of rubbish, but normally people are pretty good at weeding out the truth from the lies these days.
Well, I think think some of us are, yeah. But I tell you, it's so difficult, isn't it? It's like it's like putting your hand up to your elbow in a bath full of crap, dredging through, trying to find a single pearl. That's what it's like, trying to find a reliable news source. I got some comments coming in. Yeah, Helen Shaw, this needs more publicity. I think that she pinned that up there when we were talking about the acid attacks. Yeah. Chris Ford, Khan is a puppet. Plant election was suspect. Khan is a puppet. Plant election was suspect. Zach Goldsmith never stood a chance. Richard Markham, yeah, we've covered. Saju Perumal John, deport London Mayor Sadiq Khan ASAP. He was born in the UK, though. Okay, I'm going to keep going through this. Helen Shaw, let's have the truth on public sector pay. Stop wasting money, NHS, councils. Our local police HQ has just spent $3 million on a refurb. Okay, Helen, that's a bit off topic, darling, but hey, that's fine. That's cool. Thank you. I appreciate that. Please do comment. Yeah. Yeah, I don't know. Helen actually does also say, good idea about my idea to try and get the BBC to sue me. Let them try and sue you. Well, this is an interesting idea. Okay, all right. Chris, go on. You were saying. Mark, blimey. It's Mark Charles.
Yeah, so In 2016, the Daily Mail revealed that Muslim millionaire Tariq Sheikh had donated 15,000 to Khan's mayoral campaign. Now, he's donated at least 150,000 over 3 years to a charity funded by Dr. Zakir Naik, who is an Indian cleric who has been banned from entering Canada and the UK after making controversial comments exhorting Muslims to become terrorists, as well as stating that Jews are our staunchest enemies. He's a founder and owner of Peace TV, which is believed to reach a global audience of nearly 100 million. He's preaching in India. He's been banned from there, Bangladesh, Canada. You know, these people don't get banned for no reason. He's also said that he supports female sex slavery, beating one's wife, the death penalty for those who renounce Islam.
I'm sorry? Could you please repeat that last point?
Yeah, so again, this guy, Dr. Naik, has said that he supports the death penalty for those who renounce Islam and the prohibition of homosexuality. And
this guy is an imam?
No, he's someone which has been funded by one of Khan's funders, one of his biggest funders.
One of his campaign sponsors?
Yeah, has funded this Dr. Naik, Sadiq.
Dr. Mahik?
Dr. Naik, Naik.
Yup.
Sadiq.
Blimey. Unbelievable. I don't know that... I haven't researched that myself.
No, sorry, I gave you wrong information there.
Let's get it right.
Yeah, Zakir Naik. So Sakirnaik.
Okay, all right.
He's been funded by one of Khan's biggest donors.
Right. Okay. Yeah. Okay. Let's. Oh, blimey. Okay, that's a potentially enormous story. I'm going to look into that. Right. We have got his views on Trump. Now, Trump. I don't know if you noticed, but he's a slightly controversial character. Is Khan right, Elizabeth, to say that this... well, he does say some funny things about women. I thought it was quite funny, actually, in a dark humour kind of a way, what he said about Macroney's wife. Oh, she's so well held together. Is Khan right to say that we shouldn't be rolling out the red carpet for Trump because Trump has been so, I think he said, anti-Islamic?
No, I think he's wrong. I think Trump, like him or not like him, he is the president of the USA. A lot of people in the UK and worldwide like Trump, and Trump should be invited to the UK because he is the president, and he should have red carpet treatment because any president from the USA did, Obama and everyone, the president. So no, he's wrong. We should welcome Trump. We have said this and said that and said that, but I mean, half the world don't take serious what Trump says anyway, and he's really under attack with the elite and the left and the libs in the USA. He's having a really hard time.
Yeah, he is. He's even having problems with Jeff Sessions now. Sorry, carry on. Carry on, Elizabeth. Sorry.
Sorry for Trump. I think he's really under attack with the elite and the lefts and the libs in the USA. I've never seen nothing like it. The stories that come out, I think Trump can't even breathe without a comment being said against him. He is the president of the USA. You like him, you love him, regardless what you feel about him. He is welcome to the UK as any other prime minister was from the USA.
It has to be said. It has to be said, Mark Childs, that Trump won. Whatever you think about him, he won under the conditions of the United States Electoral College, a system that was put in place by the great Thomas Jefferson. a hero, if ever there was one, for the people, and one of the authors of the Constitution, the Bill of Rights. The Trump, whatever you think about him, and I know we're pretty divided, and in the States they're pretty divided, everywhere we're pretty divided, but yeah, he did win, didn't he? And they are a very important ally to us, the United States, always have been. As we're coming out of the EU, we are going to want to trade with the United States. Trump has said he will put us at the top of the list. Obama's threatened us and said, if you leave, if you do Brexit, then you can be at the bottom of the list of trade so far as we're concerned. I'll tell you, insert here, with the kind of words that you want to use. Trump he seems to be on our side. How can the London mayor take it upon himself as a public servant, mate, yeah? Look it up in your dictionary. How can he not want to at least give a cordial welcome to the President of the United States of America? Mark.
Because he despises everything that he stands for, which is Trump is very much for looking after the people of the Western world and opposing the extremism from Islam and this. I mean, Trump. I'm not saying he's not done or said things not controversial and wrong, but look at his time since he's been president. Look at what he's done. He's keeping to his promises. He's a businessman, and he wants his country to be very successful and safe for its people, and he wants to build relationships with the rest of the world and people that want to live in peace. He's not looking to start wars, but at the same time, I don't think he'd be afraid to if there needed to be. Not like his predecessor who would start a war just because it was convenient for them to get them cheaper oil or something like that. So Khan's going to be against him because he's completely the opposite to Khan. He stands for the free world where Khan doesn't. The only world that Khan stands for is for the Islamic world.
We're nearly there, folks. We're nearly there. I'm going to try and keep these shows to an hour because I want you wanting more. Yeah, this is a very cynical move. Yeah. But Elizabeth, I'd like you, dear lady, please, to give us a bit of a. I know. Just tell us about what we need to do, my dear.
Well, I think Brexit is a big threat to the whole world. It really is. And there's lots of ups and downs which has split the whole community. I think people have to come together here. This is going to happen whether we like it or not. We've got to come together, not split. We've got to try and recognise that Brexit is going to happen. Try and make it work for Remain and for vote Leave, because all it's causing is trouble. And I think Khan has to step down, because it's not what I see on my pages. People asking him to step down, traitor, names. I haven't seen the other side of people that want him. So I think he should step down. I think a new man is nudging me in London. I don't know anyone that I meet in London that said they voted for him, so I don't know how he won anyway. And all this links with jihadists and terrorism, what Matt just said, that's a high risk in itself. And all these skeletons are going to slowly come out of the cupboard, and more's going to be released. And I think it's a serious threat.
I want to say a big thank you to everybody. I haven't got through your comments still. And you know what? Jane Middleton, traitor through and through. NWO puppet. I'll tell you what. Steve Russell, Trump is trying to protect the American people against Islamic attack. Just like May should. Yeah. Richard Markham, he was invited by our Queen. Nothing to do with Khan. Hey. Mark is giving the truth here, says Chris Ford. And Lo Davis, we all need to stop paying the BBC license fee. Hey, just saying, yeah, you'll go, bless it. I'm on that. I want to thank so much Mark Childs and Elizabeth Higris for coming on the show. And I'm really sorry, Sadiq, you had a platform here. I also want to say, and I'm going to pin this up in the comments as well, things you can do today that are useful. Yeah, this is a new segment that I'm introducing. So, yeah, crassly titled for now. Vote for the MP of the Year. I don't know what the link is. Somebody give me the link. MP of the Year. Vote for Jacob Rees-Mogg. And Parents Against Grooming. Mark Lecky-Howarth. He was here on the show a few weeks ago. Super bloke. There's a walk going on, which you can do to show your solidarity. So, hey, please do. I'll link it too. This has been Daily Brexit. I'm Olly Connelly. Here's to us and bugger plutocracy.